Hello and welcome. My name is Nick Crawford, and welcome to today's HF&S Podcast, where we hope our voices sound better than Fergie singing the national anthem. We have, once again, a lot of material to cover. But let me introduce you to tonight's speakers. We have Zachary Hall on the controls, and we have Brian Johnson along with myself, again, Nick Crawford.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, so
Welcome to tonight's podcast.
Oh, he just fell.
I didn't fall. No.
We're okay.
All right.
Everybody's
Just on the
good.
ground.
All right, so let's get into this first topic. We're going to be talking about NASCAR, of course, first. Then we're going to go into F1 and maybe a little bit into iRacing.
Some iRacing. Yeah.
Well, it's not really about NASCAR. It's more like Kevin Harvick. It's a Kevin Harvick show.
Kevin Harvick show.
Okay, yeah. So this week we were at Atlanta. We had the three-part series, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Or no, they were both on Saturday.
Actually the Xfinity race was, Saturday before, and then the truck race was Saturday later tonight.
That doesn't happen often.
Yeah, that doesn't happen often. It definitely doesn't.
So Xfinity was before the truck?
Yeah, it was before the truck race, actually. Because, they did practice, and then they qualified on Saturday. Both of them, both series, and raced.
But nonetheless.
Yeah, did you guys get a chance to catch any of that race?
No.
What, the Xfinity race?
The truck race. We'll talk about
the
the truck race
race
first, since we got that first on our. Did you catch it, Brian?
I mean, I saw some highlights. I saw where.
Yeah. Well, I watched most of it. It was mostly Kyle Busch show. I think he led 67 laps.
I know. I remember
normal truck race. Noah Gragson was also a notable driver under Kyle Busch's team. I think he led about 45 or something like that. He was close. I think he got a little bit behind it later in the races. The rubber got on the track, of course. But actually, they had a late caution as Kyle Busch was running away from the field. They had a late caution, which is what made this race pretty good. And his crew did not get the tire on the truck. All the lug nuts secure, and the tire actually came off the truck. Yeah, the left rear actually happened the same tire. It was Dover.
Dover.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same situation. Yeah, exactly, except with the truck here. So, yeah, and we actually had Brett Moffitt win the race, and he started in. As you can see, I cannot the truck right here, on Kyle Busch's truck, the tire literally fell off exactly the same as Dover pointed it out. So, and as I said, Brett Moffitt goes on the win. It's his second win in the truck series. He restarted, I think, in third on the last restart, and he only led 2 laps in the race, the last 2. So, congrats to him. It's his second win. This is something cool. I got a fact of him is he's had 15 starts in NASCAR or 15 starts in the truck series. My bad. He started in the Cup series also. For when Michael Waltrip racing back then, but
oh wow, really?
Yeah, he did a few races, but he had 15 Cup truck races. He says 2 wins and 7 top 10s. So
that's really good.
Yeah, he's definitely performing when he's in the truck. So I think he's got a full season this year. Luckily, I think he had a full ride last year and fell off. So
I wonder what his average finish is.
It's probably pretty good.
Well,
7 top 10s out of your 15 starts and 2 wins. So
15 starts.
I'm pretty sure he won in 2016.
Wins
for the first
count
time.
Towards the 7 top 10s.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so you've got 2 wins, so that's 2 firsts, and then somewhere in the. I mean, it's definitely is. I mean, it's got to be 5th or 6th.
Yeah, it's
I mean, unless those other 5 races are DNFs.
Well, I can tell you this much: he came in and drove a Toyota number 11 Red Horse racing truck, and in 2016 at Michigan, he won the race. It was his 3rd start or something like that. He had finished 2nd before that week at Bristol, and then the week before that he finished 2nd or 3rd. My bad. So he had a 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. So he backed it up every week. And then Red Horse Racing actually shut down last year when he was going to have a full ride for 2017.
Wow.
And they shut down 7 races in, or 6, 7 races in or something like that. So
where are they based out of?
I'm not sure. I know that Timothy Peters also lost his ride too. He was one of the notable guys. They were teammates. But it's pretty cool to see Brett Moffitt win. I think he's related to Richard Petty also, so that's pretty cool. Has some heritage.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah. I know his brother, or it's either his brother or cousin, Thad Moffitt. He races at our local short track in Carter County here. So
You say Clark County?
Cool. Carteret.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Clark County is where I live.
That'd be pretty crazy. We lived in the same name county, yeah. But
it's not Clark County. It's Carteret County.
Carteret.
The Carteret. Where the car wreck at, Brian?
Exactly.
Into the turn 4 wall.
See, and I live in Wake County because we stay woke.
Pretty cool to see him win the race. Like I said, so somebody you don't expect to win, so it's pretty cool. And I guess we can move on to the Xfinity race, which was before this race, but we have it second because it's the second major race, I guess you could say. And we had some major players in that race for sure. I know Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick, the Jackman Kevin Harvick, the Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick spotted.
Yeah, that's definitely...
That guy wearing a Kevin Harvick, fan shirt.
Yeah, it was the Kevin Harvick show for sure. I think he led 141 laps. So
he owns Daytona.
He owns Atlanta. I'm not sure how many wins he has at Xfinity. I know he has multiple for sure in Xfinity.
At Atlanta or in general?
Yeah, at Atlanta.
Okay.
In the Xfinity car, I know he has multiple, but he was flat out dominant Saturday. It was amazing to watch. I think it was pretty much a sign of things to come for sure. Definitely.
Well, if they don't pave the track.
Yeah. And pretty much, I don't think there's much to talk about. Did y'all watch it? The Xfinity race?
No. I watched a little bit of it, but...
Yeah, it wasn't much Kevin Harvick dominated, so it just it became the narrative of the weekend almost. You knew it was gonna happen.
What is it that gives him the ability to dominate this racetrack? Is it the way he enters the corner? Because I know his is a lot different. He's off the gas halfway down the straightaway or something like that.
Clint, I watched some interviews. What Clint Boyer said. This is one thing he said is. He's really the thing that he's good at is 1 and 2. 3 and 4, everybody runs the bottom usually, so that's normal. But 1 and 2, not many people run the bottom because they can't make it work. But he's figured out something that makes it work by lifting. Dude, he was lifting at the quarter mile, right after the start finish line, on one of the runs, and there was spotters up there saying man, he's playing games with everybody right now. It was.
I remember that.
I think what he's doing is that he's lifting early so he can stay at the bottom, and then what he's doing, he's below the yellow line. He's practically on the apron, and I think what he's doing, he's using the apron to help him turn so he can get to the gas sooner, go faster, and it's pretty loose when you do that. But he's Kevin Harvick, so I think that's what he's just using the apron to help him turn. And I think that that's really advantageous, obviously.
Definitely is.
If you can hang on to it.
Has been. Everybody's tried to replicate. They can't get him though.
So then that leads into the Cup race. Let's talk about that one. So
2 cautions. That's a new record.
First of all, we need to talk about. I think we need to applaud NASCAR for the great job they did. Making the track dry. They got out there early. They actually scheduled the race earlier.
Yeah,
thinking the rain was coming later. But it rained a little bit longer than they thought. But it was we were lucky to get this race in. Let's just say that because it was going to rain that night anyway. Looked at
the new drying system that they're using is that was a really good improvement.
Yeah, man. NASCAR
is not as explosive either.
Yeah. Oh my, okay.
It's definitely not that.
Is it the same as last year? The Titans?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same as last year. Yeah, I think they did this improvement last year. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they changed it last year. Do you know that, Brian? It might be 2 years now.
I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
this new system seems to really be very, very good.
Yeah. I mean, it cuts I think they've used them at Daytona before, and used to. I mean, Daytona would take 2 hours to dry, and now I think they can do it in 40 minutes. It's an incredible amount of time saved.
Definitely is.
They must have talked to the Dyson guy.
I think we had Kyle Busch starting on the pole for the race, so expecting him to do pretty good.
Ryan Newman led from lap 1
exactly.
to 17.
Exactly. I was about to say that.
Yeah, he had a good start.
He had a good takeoff speed. I think he burned his tires up again. Like Bowman did the same thing. Bowman drove up the 8th, and I think they learned pretty quick.
Seemed like he fell back.
Yeah.
And Kyle Busch took over lap 18. Well, lap 18, Kyle Busch.
Yeah. But then, Kevin Harvick was going to drive up through, and I think he won stage 1 too. So Kevin Harvick took home stage 1.
He won stage 1. Brad Keselowski
didn't take home stage 2. Yeah. I was about to say Brad Keselowski took home stage 2. So that mostly had an effect because it was a short run in my opinion. If it was Kevin Harvick really just needed about 5 laps on the tires and he was gone. I mean, he didn't have the best restarts or nothing, but like
he's always been terrible at restarts.
Yeah, and
he's worse than Jeff Gordon at restarts.
And his car just kind of took off pretty slow too. So Brad Keselowski had a pretty good car, I'd say, throughout the whole run. Brad Keselowski he was never like the fastest car at any point during a run, but I feel like he had like a consistent car. That's why he stayed up front most of the day, and he got out front there and just definitely got him a stage win. So that's important for him, getting him some playoff points. So putting that one down in the books. And there was also, I think during that, I'm not sure if it was that stage. No, I think it was stage 3. Because after the start of stage 3, I think that's when Kevin Harvick had the pit road issue.
Oh.
Yeah, the race was pretty uneventful until stage 3.
There were a lot of different leaders, though, or lead changes, I guess.
You drinking some sweet tea?
Yeah, I don't think the stream can hear it, but yeah.
I got some sweet tea too.
We don't have sweet tea like you guys down in North Carolina.
You're damn right.
We got better.
We got the good stuff. But did y'all see the smoke show that Trevor Bayne put on?
See, I've never seen an engine blow like that, and I still can't figure out what it was.
They're saying it was fuel.
Yeah,
because I'm looking at the breakdown of the race, and the caution on 298 is they said it's fuel on the track.
I mean, there can be fuel on the track in the engine.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was just crazy. I've never seen an engine go up like that, and did y'all see what that led to? Right, that led to Bubba Wallace running the back of Ricky Stenhouse.
Do you think it
crazy.
Was just the lights?
No,
just the way the lights hit it.
Yeah, that definitely helps. I would think, but I think it's just a ridiculous amount of smoke. I don't think I've ever seen that much smoke. Well, then
that makes me think it's like also fuel. No,
I mean, it probably just let a lot of oil in the exhaust somewhere like on the block. Like it had to be a big. The
only way to really be sure what it was is if you could smell it.
Yeah, exactly. Smelling it would be big.
Looking at it really. Yeah. I mean, looking at it can help you because oil smoke tends to be.
I didn't get a chance to look into it really if anybody said anything, but.
I
know a lot of people said, "Wow, that was huge," so it's definitely one of the biggest motor blowups I've ever seen.
Yeah,
so
just
that caused this to lead to, Darrell Wallace getting a lot of damage. Ricky Stenhouse getting some rear end damage.
Darrell Wallace is a really cool guy. I just feel like he has such bad luck sometimes.
Yeah,
it does, and his spotter didn't help him. Because the spotter, he didn't just told him, "Hey, slow down, slow down," and he didn't. He never said whether high or low. Now,
when you think about it,
where he needed to go. So
that last picture, it was on the backstretch, correct? He blew in turns 1 and 2. Well, the spotters are on the front stretch.
Yeah,
true. So they can't see it anyways. So
no, that spotter literally could see just about what Bubba could probably see too. So.
It's just
he could have at least took a guess.
No.
Yeah, but then he'd be like, "Why'd you tell me to go left? I'd rather you tell me to slow down if you don't know it's right."
And then that's when you say I couldn't see. I had to guess.
I think it's better to.
So you guessed wrong. You should let me guess. I'm the driver.
Clear the radio so that he can maybe hear. I don't know. I don't know how much you can hear in a stock car. Probably not a lot.
You got
also that race had some pit gun issues. I know. Which were pretty interesting.
Leveling the playing field, huh?
Yeah, we got some quotes. I know. If you wanna. I know that Kevin Harvick had the failure of some sort. I think it was I heard it was an air hose, something where it connects to the gun. I know that Kyle Busch's, I think his truck team had a problem with the guns. And I think someone else said something about Alex Bowman also. So,
well, first,
there's been a little bit questioning why.
Why are the pit guns having issues? Because they now they're like mandating.
Yeah, everybody has
a gun from the same brand.
Yeah, NASCAR supplies the guns now.
Would they go to like a budget store, the dollar store for an air gun?
No, I think probably what it was is that they contacted whatever company they're using them and be like, hey, we need not 20,000, but we need a lot of air guns.
40 times 2, Brian.
Amount of time, so.
Yeah, I think it's just a rare occurrence that it happens.
But for that many teams.
This is my biggest thing. Is they gotta gather up all of these things and give them out to the teams. So there's probably a good chance that some of them could have got messed up. Something, and this is the first time they're doing it, so they're really learning from this. So I don't know. I know they're getting it from a reputable company.
Reputable.
Yeah, there you go. That word. I can't spell company. So
the part that makes this bad though is I don't know who said it. No, Steve O'Donnell. He's talking on Sirius XM, and he says, we knew going in that this could potentially happen, and likelihood of it happening at some point during the season was fairly high. So they shipped a product that was broken.
Well, I mean,
I think he knew that the chance of stuff happening was pretty high because, I mean, it happened to the guns before. It's just you only could blame your team because that's where you got your guns. So now, NASCAR.
They wanted to stop the.
Yeah, they wanted to stop the development war. Yeah.
And with anything, whenever you buy a product, the company, you'll never get 100%. 100% of your product working 100% of the time. Like there are gonna be bum products with anything. So and that's why they have warranties and money back and stuff. And just in this situation,
you're in a race. It don't
a couple of those guns didn't work. Now, I kind of like to think outside of the box and think a bit conspiracy theorist. I just hope NASCAR didn't kind of pick out the guns and say, "Oh, this one may or may not have trouble." We'll give this one to Joe Gibbs. Yeah, I don't think they did that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I can see where, trust me, people will be coming up with conspiracy theories all with this picture.
Just like Goodyear tires.
It's almost fun.
But it's a never.
It keeps NASCAR honest too.
Yeah.
Now, Kevin Harvick won, of course, but what about SHR entirely? They, at one point, actually, at the finish of both stages, they were all in the top 10.
They came to race.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick finished first. Clint Boyer, surprise, finished third.
Yeah, he was strong too, man. He was definitely strong.
And over in 13th, Eric Almirola.
Yeah, he was strong too.
This is what we were waiting for from last week. We wanted to see, who was going to be good on the mile and a half.
Yep.
Everybody can plate race. Plate race is you have to be in the right place at the right time, or if you're not, you just dump the person. But
I mean, Austin Dillon won, so
yeah, that just shows you anyone can win.
Yeah,
but especially SHR, are they here to stay with the dominance? Are they the Joe Gibbs of 2018, or is it just a one-time thing? Because when you think about it, Atlanta's an old track. How many tracks have been repaved?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In my opinion, this means nothing. This means a lot at Auto Club. I bet you. Okay, so Stuart Haas domination for sure, but also a little bit of Ford domination with the Penske, because other than them, you really got Roush Fenway, which I didn't see much of Ricky Stenhouse and them guys, but I mean, we don't expect much out of them yet.
Second.
Yeah.
You got Joey Logano 6th.
Exactly. They were strong, and then you just had, like, I think, other couple Toyotas. And Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson really weren't strong at all, so, in the top 10. But
they were only Chevys, and then Ryan Blaney
so the
12th.
Fords really look good. Kind of disappointed with Ryan Blaney 12th after his teammates kind of ran pretty good, but probably didn't get it all weekend. Have nothing for it really all weekend. He was pretty slow in practices.
That's where I think the track surface comes in, because these young guys, they're so used to running on the new
these smooth surfaces,
repaved smooth surfaces, and they don't got to work their arms as much. And then when you look at it, Kevin Harvick, veteran driver, Brad Keselowski, Clint Bowyer, dirt tracker, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, that's your top 5.
Definitely.
All veteran drivers.
I don't think we can take too much from this weekend as a say of what cars will be the fastest the rest of the year, because this track is such an anomaly. Like I said, Auto Club is probably the closest thing to it with tire fall off now, and the way the track's bumpy. And I don't know. We'll see at Las Vegas next week. That's the biggest thing for me, is Las Vegas next week. If they bring the same speed, dang, they might. I don't know. They might be the Joe Gibbs of this year if they do. Yeah, trust me, that will be a surprise to me. But I expect them to be there. But I'll expect Toyota and Chevrolet to show up next week, hopefully.
Okay.
What you thinking, Brian, about that? You pretty much feel the same way?
No, I think. I mean, it is only 2 weeks. It's very, very early in the season. But from what I've seen and heard about Tony Stewart talking over the offseason about what he expects from the season, I mean, they have put everything they got into the season. I mean, especially, you got rid of Danica Patrick, so that kind of frees up your 20th to 35th place finishes there, so now be competitive in the 10 car. And I mean, Eric Almirola has definitely shown that he can drive a race car really well. He just needs some good equipment. Clint Bowyer is, again,
he's
is 2 weeks in, but he's on the rise again, I think.
Yeah.
Atlanta is a different track than everywhere else now, since it is so freaking old. But at the same time, Ford and Toyota have dominated for the most part these last couple of weeks. You hadn't seen Chevy at all, so I think once the Chevy teams get their act together and figure out how to work with this new car, I think you'll kind of see the field kind of level out a little bit. But until then, I do see Penske, Stewart-Haas Racing kind of being up at the front for most of the day, most every week.
Okay, so that kind of answers my next question. Zach, tell me, what do you think about the Camaro? Like, where are they?
Oh man,
because we're all big Chevy fans. You had 2 finish in the top 5 last week, but actually, you had
they're still in the CAD files.
3. You had 3.
They're still in the CAD files. Yeah, Chevrolet needs to send in the iRacing.
But only 2 in the top 10. And then after that, the next one is in 14th.
I think we need to be a little bit lenient on them, but I'm still disappointed. Trust me, I was so excited coming in this weekend. We got a new body. Let's go in there and show them what we got. No.
But do you think this track was really this track really like an aerodynamic track?
Yeah, it's more of a handling mechanical grip track in my opinion. Because you got so much bumps, and it's more about your suspension package, in my opinion, and like holding onto your tires. So, I don't think we should take the body for granted.
Okay.
But, I don't think the body really mattered this week.
Because they were fast. They were fast in Daytona, but they just really struggled. So,
I think the track that will kind of be the turning point to see if Chevy is going to be competitive this year is Auto Club. Because that's kind of both.
Speed.
That's higher speeds, but also mechanical grip as well. So
I expect them to struggle there too, personally. Though I expect them that to be another track. We'll see at Las Vegas next week with a more normal track. William Byron did lead practice and testing there. But I mean, it's testing, so we can't take nothing from that. But I'm just saying the Chevrolets did look good there while they were there. We'll see next week. I think it was a bigger thing that's just Hendrick as a whole didn't hit on the setup this weekend. I think that's the biggest thing.
I mean, especially Jimmy Johnson. Like Chad Canals was way off. Jimmy Johnson got nowhere.
Exactly. So
what did he have a flat tire at one point?
Yeah, well, he actually spun then he had a flat tire because
I think that was the first caution, wasn't it?
Because I remember seeing him on pit road.
That was the first caution of the race, actually.
Yeah, he was the first caution, and then the big engine blow up.
Oh yeah,
fog machine show.
That was the only 2 cautions of the race too.
Both in stage 3. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that just kind of speaks because I know, like, you know, racing at Atlanta and iRacing is kind of the same way. You just the way the tires work and how old the track is, how abrasive it is. It just you know, you can't really race a whole lot. It's just kind of riding around. So I think that's what they were experiencing as well.
Okay, yeah, it says about 8.6% of the race was run under caution. That's out of 325 laps. An average green flag run was 49.5 laps.
That's really good.
That's what stages too. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that average would have been a lot higher if you didn't have the competition caution, end of stage 1 and end of stage 2.
Yeah, the average speed for the race would have been extremely high.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the rookies. Since we're still on Chevys, both the major rookie contenders are both in a Chevy. You got Bubba versus William Byron. Now, right now in the point standings, though, Darrell Wallace Jr. is 14th and William Byron is 25th. So what's going on with Byron?
Oh, he had a bad week last week.
Yeah, I think he finished 18th the Cup race this weekend. He struggled all race. He went down before the first stage was over. He struggled, but I think this is like your welcome to Cup moment for him. You know, he's a young kid too. You can't take this much because you think he's in this car earlier than Chase Elliott was in his car to start him. So yeah. We gotta give him some time. So I think he's gonna take more time. Personally,
think he's gonna be a repeat of Chase?
Yeah, I see. Actually, I see him winning. I could see him winning a race this year. Personally, still at some point, so? I think he's a kid that can break out at some point and just click. You know, I think it's just gonna take some bumps at the beginning of this season. I don't necessarily guarantee a win. I guarantee a win almost next year, but I think Bubba will lead. This is my prediction for this year. Bubba will lead the rookie battle all the way up till the summer break, and then I think William Byron turns it on and ends up being the rookie of the year.
I think you're just a fanboy of the 24 car.
That might be a case too, but guess what? I like Bubba a lot. I would say I'm a bigger fan of Bubba than I am William Byron, though.
I just think like all the hype for William Byron kind of just died off. Like he disappeared.
Yeah, I mean,
it's only been 2 weeks. It's kind of been mediocre.
Yeah, but these 2 tracks are weird. Weird tracks. You can't take these tracks. It's like Kevin Harvick said in someone asked him about why is there so much experience at the front of the field in Atlanta. He said because these young guys don't drive tracks like this. Like you pointed that out earlier, Nick. Young guys don't grow up driving on Atlanta type surfaces like this. They don't. Okay, the problem with new surfaces nowadays is they use such high quality asphalt from like highways and roads that we use that the asphalt, it will take 20 years for the tracks to get anywhere. Like Michigan hasn't wore at all. We haven't seen no track wear at Michigan now.
Daytona's worn a little bit.
Daytona barely, and Talladega has barely even worn. Like the surfaces are so nice now, they don't wear out. They need to, in my opinion, if they do repave Atlanta, please don't. But if they do, they need to repave it with like a lower quality asphalt so it actually degrades faster. I mean, the economical for them is not good, but guess what? It's good racing. That's what should be matter filling seats, in my opinion. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't want to have a Daytona happen all over again, or a Martinsville, where you're running a race and the damn track comes up and goes through a radiator.
Who was that? Wasn't that Jeff Gordon that ran that over?
Yeah, Martinsville, and then I forget who ran. Actually, I think it may have been Jeff Gordon at Daytona too.
It was Jeff Gordon at Martinsville, but
there was another track
Daytona. I think it was Jamie McMurray. Yeah. Oh, that was Dover.
Yeah, that's where it was because he went straight into the outside wall and it looked like it hurt.
Yeah. But y'all don't remember when Daytona started breaking up?
I think that was no, I remember that. It was, I can't remember what car it was, but someone hit it for sure.
I forget. Well, a lot of people hit it because
a lot of people did. It was like a pothole. One track
and then, I don't know why NASCAR couldn't see it. I mean, they want to throw the precautions out for no reason, and then that's in the past. It's already happened. Exactly. I'll save that rant.
They're better with that. They're better with it now.
Yeah, but like I said, I think it can't take much from the beginning of the season. I think William Byron. This is my prediction. William Byron will turn it on after the summer break. And I think he'll pull it out. I think he'll pull out the rookie battle. I think he'll make the chase too. I think both of them make the chase personally, but I think Byron. I don't expect them to go far and chase both of them, but I definitely see William Byron win Rookie of the Year though.
Yeah, I was watching it was a Liberty University convocation thing, and they had Jeff Gordon, Rick Hendrick, and William Byron show up, and they were asking them questions, and really the main reason why William Byron got the ride was because Rick Hendrick saw like the amount of work ethic that this guy has. He was like an honor student when he was in college, like straight A honor student his senior year, which was the same year that he won his K&N East championship. And what else was he doing? He was taking online classes at Liberty University, and I think he was also running Xfinity races. And so he was like doing all of this at the same time, was still able to do classes at school and do really, really well there. And like the dude just cannot be stopped.
He's a smart kid. He's a determined kid. So I think his determination will lead him to success. That's what I'm hoping. So,
but I don't think he'll get Rookie of the Season. William Byron has more. William Byron.
Bubba Wallace definitely has a lot more experience.
I mean, he's got 4 more races in that car than William Byron does. And I think that would really help him, especially since those 4 races were later in the year. For Bubba Wallace, I think that's. If he doesn't do well in those 4 races that he filled in for Eric Almirola last year, if he doesn't do well in those races this year, I'll be quite disappointed.
You gotta. Okay. So since we're still kind of on Hendrick and Chevy, and their disappointing finishes, will Hendrick and Chevy rebound? Because when you look at the point standings, the first Hendrick car is Alex Bowman in 17th. And the first Chevy doesn't come up until 13th place. That's Kyle Larson. You got Alex Bowman 17th, Chase Elliott 19th. You got to keep going all the way down to find Jimmy Johnson at 35th place.
Yeah, Hendrick needs a big weekend at Vegas to kick off their 2018 season. I think they need to forget about the first 2 races and just figure out how to get this car going,
When you think about it, if they keep going like this, they're going to have to start looking for wins.
Yeah.
If you're down in 35th place, you're not going to make up 30 spots, or what is it, like 25 spots?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to win it to get in it.
So
I think Jimmy Johnson's definitely dug a big hole already, but I think it'll swing around. We'll see here at Las Vegas. That's the biggest thing,
He's the king of bounce backs.
Yeah. He's usually good about that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the victory lane next week, so let's not put that past it.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I'm sure Chad Canals right now is having nightmares about the new Camaro.
The way points are right now, you can have a huge day if you really dominate. So, some dominating performances you put in, you never know. I think Hendrick will rebound. I say give Chevrolet about Chevrolet and Hendrick. I'd say 6 races. By the 6th race, if they don't have it by then they might need to be questioning something.
Okay. Another thing you got to look at is, do they still go back to Atlanta in the fall, right?
No, Atlanta's only one. Yep.
Okay. Well, when they go
one
race,
yeah, you want to know what it was replaced by?
Las Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah. You know what? Screw you.
Trying to come to the West Coast where the good sweet tea is, but
Oh no. But what I'm really looking for is okay, so we'll use Las Vegas as this example. So we're going to Las Vegas next week. We go to Las Vegas in the fall. If the Chevy cars don't do well next week, I expect them to do very, very well in the fall. All these repeat tracks, they should be better than they were before.
Yeah, that's what I think.
If they're not, then you got a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
They need to learn right now. They're in a learning process, in my opinion.
I'm looking forward to the road courses with those cars.
But I'm impatient fan, so they better be ready.
This Las Vegas, then Phoenix, then Auto Club, and Martinsville. Honestly, none of these be ready by Martinsville. Are similar.
Yeah, they better be ready by Martinsville. I want to see Chase Elliott win. Sorry, right? We're going to Martinsville. So.
Oh no! I want to see it too. I'm gonna go there. Just kidding.
I want to see Chase Elliott
spin out to New Hampshire.
Who wants to sponsor this podcast and fly Nick out to Martinsville?
Please.
But speaking of Martinsville, we don't really have. It's a really slow news week. Well, really, we didn't talk. Actually, my bad. We haven't talked about Vegas, have we? I got ahead of us, didn't I?
No, we were just talking about Vegas.
I mean, we kind of a little bit.
Well, what do you expect?
Yeah, what did you want to talk about Vegas?
I expect to see Toyota come in with something next week for sure.
Every time I go to the track, it's Toyota everywhere.
I think Martin Truex is going to be somebody we're going to have to watch this next weekend. This is the race I want to see if Martin Truex has that.
If he's
2017 fire.
Yeah.
Does he have a championship hangover?
Does he have the actual speed this year like they did last year, or are they gonna not be as?
I don't know. So. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Gibbs cut their funding.
Yeah, definitely.
You beat my teams. No more money for you.
Well, why would they cut their funding?
Is there a satellite team?
Joe Gibbs? Oh, you mean Martin Truex? Okay,
Martin Truex. Yeah.
It was because of that one thing that happened where Kyle Busch and Martin Truex wrecked at Indy.
Yeah.
And then after the race, he's what's his face? Kyle Busch's crew chief came in there and he's all yelling at the crew guy. He's like, "Get out of my box! I don't care. Get out of my box! I don't care who you are. Get out of my box!"
And then Joe Gibbs fired some of the 78's pit crew.
Yeah.
Or suspended him, they suspended him.
Yeah. Because they were bound.
Fishy.
You heard Joe Gibbs say, they asked him, what's it feel like to lose to a satellite team that you basically fund? And he's like, that hurts a lot. So,
beating them at their own game with their own money.
Let's throw it in. Let's throw it into that conspiracy pile. Yeah.
Yep.
I love it.
Well, that's pretty much. So we had, like I said, we had a slow news week, and we were speaking of Martinsville. This is how slow the news week is. I went to Twitter and found this news. It's actually I'll play the audio for the stream here real quick. It's only 34 seconds, so we'll play it now here.
Hey Rob, great question. Would I ever run trucks or Xfinity on a part-time basis? Actually, the trucks are qualifying right behind me right now, so perfect timing. I always thought about maybe looking at an opportunity to drive a truck at Martinsville or a track like that. I like the short tracks, but to do it on a part-time basis at a mile and a half or super speedway, no, I'm happy to be up in the booth and out of the car right now. I'm enjoying myself and time with my family. I'll let you know if that opportunity comes up at Martinsville, though.
All right, so pretty much there we have Jeff Gordon having a Twitter question for somebody asking if he would like to run a part-time Xfinity or truck series schedule, and pretty much his answer would be he doesn't want to run anything part-time. Like he said, he's committed to his broadcasting rights and stuff like that. So but he said he's very interested in maybe driving a truck at Martinsville in the future. And hoping maybe the opportunity comes up soon sometime, he might take it up. So
has Jeff Gordon ever driven a truck in his entire
life? He's never drove a truck in his career. He's only driven a Busch Grand National car. I mean, yeah, I'm sure he's drove a truck in his personal life.
Yeah, but he's never practiced.
He says, I doubt it. He's only drove cars. Jeff Gordon drives cars.
Jeff only drives cars. They can't be taller than, what, like 6 feet?
You gotta be this tall.
Well, yeah, he's a short guy. He can't get in a truck.
Dude, my dad stood next to him. My dad's 5'8". Jeff Gordon was shorter than him.
Yeah, just 5'6", I think.
He's like 5'5", 5'6", somewhere around there.
He's a short
taller
guy.
than him. I'm short and fat.
So, but what do y'all think? What do you think that'd be a good idea for Jeff Gordon to return to Martinsville and drive a truck?
You know, he's saying if the opportunity comes up, dude, you're Jeff Gordon. The opportunity is going to come up. You're going to have 4 teams wanting you in their damn truck.
No.
Do you think this is something he takes up, or he's just blowing smoke up us?
No, I think he'll take it up. It'll be a couple years because like that picture of Leo in the dirt midget and his new certification. I mean, he's Jeff Gordon. He's a little Jeff Gordon. He's gonna be driving a 24 car in 16 for 13 years. I mean, he takes over his dad way too much. He's already started doing midgets. So I think once Jeff Gordon kind of gets Leo where he feels comfortable with where Leo's at and where he's going, he'll come back and race a truck. But he's you know, right now he's kind of focused on Leo's racing career rather than his little fun post retirement antics.
Did you know that Jeff Gordon drove a Ford Thunderbird in the Busch Series?
Yeah, he started his career for Bill Davis Racing.
He won Rookie of the Year.
The Baby Ruth car. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Thank God he switched over Chevy.
Yeah.
He got 11 poles in one season. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's how they knew.
Well, yeah, because he only raced like one year in the Busch or whatever it was called then. Oh, he did too?
He did 91 and 92 full time.
And then Hendrick was like, I want you and nobody else can have you.
Yes, please.
And speaking of like him running in Martinsville too, so he has some crazy stats there to speak of. 47 starts. Of the laps he's done, he's completed 99.5% of the laps. He's led almost 4,000 laps there. He has 9 wins, 29 top 5s, 38 top 10s, 0 DNFs. He has an average finish of 6.7 and an average start of 7.3 at 47 starts. 47 starts, he's has an average finish of 6.7.
How many top 10s?
80%. He has an 80.9% chance to finish in the top 10. 38 top 10s, 29 top 5s. He has a 61% chance to finish in the top 5. And a 20% chance to win almost.
That's better than Kevin Harvick at Atlanta.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick only has 2 wins at Atlanta.
Yeah,
well,
but,
you can't look at the wins though.
How many fights has he gotten in the last 5 races?
When Jeff Gordon won a lot more, Jimmy Johnson was out of the picture.
Yeah, he probably won. Yeah, and Denny's won a lot too. So.
Well, that's because Denny has flat tires and runs into people.
Yeah.
No, he wheel hops.
Or wheel hops, yeah.
But he won't admit to wheel hopping. Michael Jeff Gordon. His middle name is Michael. Huh.
Yep.
I'm getting off of this Wikipedia page.
And that's, I mean, you guys have any other NASCAR news, like, for this past week?
I just feel like this week doesn't
slow
seem much for the rest of the season.
Yeah, this part of the season is kind of uneventful. The drama doesn't pick up until after the second race at Daytona, really.
Definitely.
Yeah, the seats are just kind of feeling it out, and then...
Especially with a new car coming in.
Definitely. So, well, I guess we'll move on to Formula 1.
Oh, you mean the part where I get quiet?
Hey, you'll be getting loud here, don't worry. So, while we were gone from our last podcast, we had 5 more cars unveiled. And these are pretty important cars, so we're going to go through them real quick.
Yeah,
first car.
Why are they important, Zach?
Well, these are the fastest cars on the grid.
Ferrari and Mercedes.
My friend.
Then why'd they reveal their cars last then, huh?
Because they're the best.
They're slow now.
Save the best for last.
They're slow now. They finished last.
Nope.
No, they started last so they can finish first.
Okay. So, first car we have is the Merc, the defending champion.
The Mercedes.
Beautiful car. Same principle as last year. Not much different. Just an upgrade. As you can see, it's a beautiful car. Same silver and black with the turquoise Petronas paint on there. Looks pretty good. Nice side pods. A very slim car. It's got a nice waist, you know. It's just how I like. Yeah. And car's looking pretty tasty. I would say it's tasty. That's right. It's gonna be a good car this year, I think. So it's definitely something. I like how they didn't go and copy Ferrari's stuff. They kind of went with their own philosophy and kept true to their design philosophy. So the Mercedes is looking good. Next, we'll have the defending car that finished second last year, the Ferrari. And this car, I gotta say, is beautiful and a very, very big upgrade from last year's car. They've changed a lot of stuff, including their side pods, which were very radical last year. They're even more radical this year. They got a lot more detail in this car. It's going to be interesting to see how fast these new cars are, because I think they're going to pick up a couple seconds this year again. Yeah. So, and it's a pretty interesting looking car. Next car that came out was the McLaren. McLaren, they have actually said this. They do have a new spec coming out for Melbourne. March 25th, which is March 25th is the race, so they have a new package coming out for the race. The car looks good in my opinion. It's got to have some update to the barge boards, but under the car, personally, the floor is looking good. If you really can't see it from a lot of these photos, from the top down, you can see the floor is pretty nice. They got some nice slot gaps. Actually, pretty cool little teeths on the barge boards and stuff. It's an interesting car. I love the paint scheme other than the blank side pods. I wish they'd put, like, you see the blue on the wings and that, like, I don't know, it's like that royal blue with that orange. If they had royal blue McLaren on there, like that match that blue on the side of the side pod, it would really, really, really be beautiful in my opinion. So
you know why they didn't do that, right?
Again. Well, they're leaving space on there for a sponsor. There's plenty of space here. Come to us. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. So we got the McLaren. As you can see, it's got a lot of rake. I've noticed that. That's pretty cool. So it should be a good turning car.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the cars this year have more rake in them than they did last year.
Yeah, they
like
definitely
all the cars
did.
that were kind of more flat now have gone to more of a raked out.
Yeah, a lot of people notice how well Ferrari's done with the rake in their cars. So a lot of people copy, you know. So it's just a philosophy they like to follow. The next car that came out, which actually, yeah, right. That's got a lot of rake. I think they got illegal tires on there too, but.
Not very smooth.
This is the Force India. It came out actually the morning of Barcelona when they tested past Monday morning, yesterday. Yes. Actually.
So Mercedes wasn't last, Nick.
Yeah, so Mercedes wasn't last, but this car is pretty much evolution of last year's car for them. Force India finished fourth in the constructors title. They should be another strong team, a strong year for them. They're going to have more competition, so they need to definitely upgrade the car some more. I expect them to bring a few more things. I actually got an interesting photo of the car here. As you can see, there's some barge boards right there, but this winglet they have on their halo, it's like a triple winglet element. It is really cool looking. I think it's one of the coolest looking halos out there by far. There's actually some really cool ones. I got some more photos from testing that came after the car reveals, of course. And I thought Force India's looked really cool.
What the car really looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Instead of like the renders and stuff. See, these are actual photos. Next car was the Honda Toro Rosso, Red Bull sister team. And they got the Honda engine this year. They pretty much evolved their car. Like I said, like pretty much every other car. They have a lot. It's it's got a lot of actual like neat details on the front end and in the bargeboard sections. The packaging is kind of interesting. It's got a weird packaging system personally. They have a really cool halo. I'll get to the picture here in a second. Pretty much,
yeah, this is my favorite.
Look at this halo right here, as you can see on this photo, it has an underwing under it. Like a lot of teams were looking at it, it's like, whoa, they put a winglet under the halo. And then see, they have also the top winglet that most teams are already running. The only teams I haven't seen run anything on their car yet is Mercedes hasn't done it, Red Bull, and McLaren. They don't have any winglets on their halo. They just have like some sculpted halos. So they might be going for a weight factor on that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, they may just be like, screw the winglets.
Yeah,
we'll just leave it the way it is.
Maybe they can sculpt it enough to make it where it's less drag too, to where they can flow in the air. But this is pretty cool design in my opinion. Pretty cool thinking with the regulations. So we got that car, and also here's, like I said, I have some more halo pictures. Here's the Haas's halo. They have these little like teeth looking like almost like little shark teeth up there on top of the halo.
Diffusers?
Yeah, those actually what they do is they're called vortex generators. Pretty much which everything on the car is.
Yeah, but, except they're just super tiny.
Yeah, they're just super tiny, so less drag. And so it's just pretty much trying to get the airflow to stick to the halo and go to the roll hoop.
Yeah, it sticks to the halo, and then you can see like where the halo is kind of is like his corkscrewed. It has a corkscrew to it, so it's
actually it's pretty cool how it's like a winglet inside of it almost.
Yeah,
the way it flows.
I don't know whether they're gonna like turn that air up or into the engine intake or turn it down across the side pod.
Side pods, yeah. So it's interesting. It's a lot of interesting designs coming. Then the next cool thing I saw from testing that we didn't see in the Mercedes photos before. So they outlawed T-wings, which they had a shark fin last year, which was a big fin on the back of the car. Now they have a semi-shark fin, in my opinion, but and on top of the shark fin, they had T-wings that were like way above the wing. But now they're having T-wings under the wing because they took away that area where you could work above the wing. So now they're working under the wing. And like Mercedes has brought a lot of teams are running the single one, but Mercedes has brought like a double wing element. And there's another team, I haven't found a picture of it yet, but some people are saying run triple wing element. I can't remember what team it is, but I think it was Williams, but I couldn't find a good picture. So, but it's
we
pretty
heard you
cool.
like wings, so we put a wing on your wing on your wing.
And right now, as I said, they're testing.
I just realized that.
From this photo, you can see that this is something in NASCAR that we don't see a lot of. See, Formula One telemetry is everything, and they record so many numbers, and that's what testing is. They just get mileage and just test every possible thing, get all numbers they can fit in their computer, and then they can just be like, "Oh, this is the answer of pretty much everything." And you can see on the McLaren right here, it has like a metal grate on it. It actually has lasers on that grate there to pew, pew. To measure ride height and airflow. There's ones that the ones off the ground measure airflow. The other lasers on the bottom measure the ride height, how close to the ground the laser is. So it's pretty cool. Little designs there with that, how they do that in F1. But we also had some problems for McLaren. They actually had a wheel nut issue, and they lost the right rear wheel, like Kyle Busch, except the right rear.
Ran 6 laps.
He ran 6 laps before it fell off, and
poof, off to the
boom. And they had to pretty much wait till the afternoon to run again to get probably a shit ton of gravel out of the car. First of all,
yeah,
and
I
think there's probably a little bit of damage on the floor, probably, and they fixed that up. So. And from McLaren, they said they're all right, and they got some good laps in later. And as today, they got some good laps in too. So, pretty much testing is right now. It doesn't matter because of the weather. Anyways, the weather's been super cold, and in Formula One,
the weather was super shitty.
Hot track is like important. So, pretty much testing has been not much to talk about because you can't really learn much from it. Just cars going around the track. So. Just cool to look at some of the upgrades that they brought. So,
were they limited to certain tire compounds?
No, they can run any tire compound they want.
Oh, okay, so they're open on that. Okay.
Yeah, at testing you can do anything. They probably recommend not to run like the freaking Hypersoft or something like that. They might run the Hypersoft.
Yeah, the new compounds.
There's softer than Ultra Soft.
Yeah, they have Hypersoft now.
So the soft
and there's a super hard, right?
Yeah, they're super hard. But so basically, what it is, they added a softer tire, but they made all the tires softer. So you have the soft this year is like the super soft from last year. So the hyper soft this year is 2 steps softer than the softest tire last year, and the super hard tire this year is just the hard tire from last year.
Oh my god.
Yeah, So I mean that tire is basically like you could sleep on that, like make a mattress out of it.
Well, isn't that just gonna cause more tire wear?
Well, yeah, but it's like super fast because super grippy.
Oh yeah. So is the hyper soft just for qualifying?
Certain tracks they're still going to use it, like Monaco, where they have low degradation tire wear in F1 terms.
Because it's like we were talking about how Atlanta, the track is like old, worn out, abrasive.
A lot.
Yeah, like you run a hyper soft tire there, it would last half a lap.
Probably not like that. It probably ripped that tire apart in a Formula 1 car.
Coming off a pit road.
Seconds.
Like that one year at Indy when the Cup cars could only go 10 laps.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That was freaking great.
Good job, Goodyear.
Yeah.
Regards, Tony Stewart.
So now that we've seen all the cars this year, we're looking at Mercedes. Who's gonna dethrone them? We're gonna have us pick a team that we decide will dethrone Mercedes as the champion of 2018.
But Nick has to go first, so he can't be
Nick's first, exactly.
Well, obviously, all the teams listed today are not going to dethrone them because, they revealed last, so they're last place. I'm just going to take a wild swing from last week's episode and say Red Bull.
Okay.
Ooh, interesting.
Brian, you can go ahead.
No, I want to know your answer.
No,
I'm dead. I'm like, nothing can change my answer.
You gotta go. I'm the F1 expert here. I want to hear you first.
Yeah, you are. All right. Well, I'm. This is not a wild swing, but I'm going same as Nick. Red Bull. I like their car. They had 3 wins last year, but I think they've made incredible improvements on their car. They're going to be super fast in a straight line, and they're just and I like Daniel Ricciardo. He's like, I like him. He's cool and funny.
Same.
He's a good driver.
So you pick Red Bull too?
I got the young guy. Yeah, Red Bull. Definitely Red Bull.
All right.
Well, maybe not definitely Red Bull, but
sorry, I had to make you all go first, but I didn't change my answer, just so you know, because my answer's always been Ferrari and always will be Ferrari.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Nobody saw that coming. Even I saw that coming.
Yeah. Fanboy. I'm not a Ferrari fanboy. Let's just get that straight. But trust me, if I could pick McLaren, if I was really certain, I would pick McLaren to be the champion. I'm picking McLaren to win a race this year. That's all I'm saying. But
yeah, I think they'll win. Yeah.
Though I think Alonso will win a race this year. One race. But I pick Sebastian Vettel to win the world title and Ferrari to win, because first of all, you're gonna have Bottas and Hamilton battling. Actually, they're actually going to be racing each other, where Mercedes lets their drivers race. Ferrari's known to have tactics to where the second driver will let the first driver pretty much get his own
team orders.
Yeah, team orders and say. And I think that will have an effect. I think Valtteri Bottas will have a better year this year and affect Lewis Hamilton more, take some points away from him. And I think Ferrari, and I think even Kimi Räikkönen might score a win this year. I'm hoping he does. I want the Iceman to get him another one before he retires. So I'm going with Big Red. And I think
you just chose Ferrari because the car is red and red is fast.
Hey,
actually, red is lowest wavelength, but
I think
don't get none of this science stuff up in here.
We will see.
You're talking about winglets and vortexes, and you're telling me not to get to science?
Don't get too much science, Nick. This is only like a damn spaceship we're riding in.
Yeah. It costs as much as one.
So yeah, I'm glad y'all picked Red Bull because that was a very hard not to pick Red Bull personally for my position. Very hard.
That was actually pretty easy. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm saying very hard for me not to
Nick
pick
chose Red Bull because he
Oh.
drinks Red Bull.
Yeah,
I've tried it.
but
It gives him
that's
wings.
pretty much all I got for F1 news. So my F1
Been a
news is
super
done,
week.
guys. Yeah,
That means we get to move
we'll have
on
more
to
next
Brian's
week.
favorite then. Brian, tell us about iRacing.
Oh man,
Because we know you
I
had
will
a fun experience.
tell you about iRacing.
Oh my god. Here, Zach, put your mic down, just mute it.
All right, here's where the fun begins. So today, Tony Gardner, staff from iRacing, posts about this this new build coming in March, about what we can expect from this new build. So it starts out, saying he'd like to make a post in regard to the new and updated content that will be in the build next week. He says some of us may know and some of us may not know. Everybody did not know some of the things that he put in here, which is a couple things really cool that really nobody saw coming at all. But the biggest one here that everybody did see coming was the two LMP1 cars. You got the Porsche 919 Hybrid and the Audi R18 e-tron Quattro. They are going to be Quattro. Two new cars that will run in two new Le Mans series.
Layman.
Lamans. It will be one individual series, so I'm assuming that means just LMP1.
Just those two cars, yeah.
Yeah, and then team series with an LMP2 and a GTE class. Now this is where it kind of gets fuzzy, and this is where kind of a lot of arguments happen in this thread about what is LMP2? Is LMP2? What do they expect to have? Are they going to put out LMP2 cars? I think no, because the HPD used to be considered LMP2.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's just going to be the two new Le Mans series, the individual series and the team series. It's just going to be the GTE class, HPD, and then these two new guys. Let's see, iRacing Le Mans series and iRacing Le Mans Endurance series. Amazing what one word can do. Le Mans series will run every 2 hours with a 12-week schedule, 69-minute races as a regular official series. Then for the Endurance series, we have it running every other week with 2 time slots. Looks like Saturday at 7 o'clock.
Oh, jeez.
GMT? What is GMT? It's a
the Meridian.
Pacific? It's not Pacific Standard Time.
Oh.
Oh yeah. So Saturday at 7, and then Saturday, I hope you know your military time at 19. Those will be 6-hour sessions, and they will be team events. So that
like
could be
NIS
interesting.
of the roadside.
Yeah, that could be. I'm kind of excited about that. That's something that Category 5 could look into.
Okay, Brian. So let's talk about your favorite part.
Oh boy. Actually, I'm gonna save that one for last. Kind of like I did last week with Pocono, which I also have a timeline of iRacing's development for Pocono, but we'll get there. I'm saving the new IndyCar for last because it deserves to be last.
Well, you should have waited to say the name then.
Like everybody knows what's coming. So the new IndyCar is listed next, but again, that's kind of like a segue to what I want to do next. So we got a new dirt track everybody saw coming, Lima Land Motorsports Park from Northwest Ohio. It will have a night version. So that's Lima Land Motorsports Park. Then a dirt track that I love. I've seen 1,000 times, well, maybe not 1,000 times, but hundreds of times. Track that nobody saw coming. At least 99% of people didn't see coming, I don't think. But the dirt track at Charlotte, 4/10 of a mile dirt track, right across the road from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Super excited about that. It's got some crazy banking. It's going to be really fun running the 410s around there.
You gonna run your dirty shorties there?
Those would be pretty fun too. The straights are pretty straight, and so it'd be kind of hard on entry there. But I think that would, it's really excited about that track. We got a new global rallycross circuit at Sonoma. I have no idea what that could be.
I mean, you just put dirt on the track and you just drive around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they do in when you race the A car there.
Yeah, see? You just put dirt on.
Because, I mean, you only get in the third gear. Yeah, half throttle. So, so here's where we get to Pocono. So, again, I mentioned this last week. Rescan and revised version of Pocono. It's still kind of fuzzy as to where the road course was rescanned and whether that will be updated.
Pocono has a road course?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. But so rescan revised version of Pocono, and we finally got here. It's official. It's going to be in the March release. So I did some digging, and I was like, okay, well, what's the official timeline of Pocono? Because I know they scanned it a long time ago. So they scanned it May 21st of 2014. A month later, or well, 2 months later, on July 21st, 2014, some work had been done on Pocono. I'm sure some measurements being imported, something to where they could get rendered stuff working. Who knows what some work means. So that was on July 21st of 2014. Then you have June of 2015. It was almost a month later. No news on. Yeah, no news on Pocono. So, some work done on Pocono. That was the last thing we heard. Then June 9th, 2016 comes around. iRacing finally mentions Pocono and says their plan is to get to Pocono. Plan is to get there. They have too much on their plate. Plan is to get there. Some work done in July 21st, 2014. June 9th, 2016. Plan is to get to Pocono. Yeah, Pocono should have been done. That should have been gone. May 1st, 2017. So last year, working on Pocono, but won't make the June release. I remember when they said that, everybody was fuming. Then February 6th of 2018, earlier this month, they said the redone track will be in the March build. So it takes them 4 years to scan a track and get it in, 2 of which they didn't do anything. At least from the customer's eye. I get it. They want to do stuff to bring more people in, but you got to keep your current people happy too. Which brings me back to this Indy car, which I'm excited for it. I mean, I'll definitely drive it at some point, but I will have to pay for it. But you won't have to pay for it if you bought it within the last 6 months. It says if you purchase the existing DW12 Indy car in the last 6 months, in the last 6 months, we would grant you full credit of $11.95 USD. We will also be granting the existing DW12 Indy car free to all members. So,
I not like that.
I mean, I get it.
Because when you look at it, Pocono, they're gonna upload the repaved one, the rescanned, whatever, and it says you're gonna get it for free.
If you own
the
it,
existing Pocono track, but then
everybody gets the old one. That's what they need to do with this car.
Is it just different for tracks versus cars?
Apparently.
I remember.
You had to buy the car 6 months ago to get it.
Yeah. Well, if you bought it within the last 6 months, so that's going to be March. So if you bought it in, September. If you bought it before September, you're out of luck. You're not getting that $11.95 back. You have to purchase this new car. If you bought it September,
and your car becomes free. That's my biggest problem. Is our car becomes free now.
Yeah. Well, it's an older car. I think it becoming free. Yeah. I get it, but you can't. I get it as well. You buy the DW12 in November, and you work hard, you get really good at it, you do a lot of research, you have these good setups that you're tweaking, and you're doing a really good job, and then 5 months later you find out it's obsolete. Okay, yeah, I get it, but
well, how similar is the IndyCar? How similar are they, the old and the new?
Who knows? They haven't released any information. There's not even a picture, so nobody really knows what this is, really, other than it's going to be the new IndyCar before the real IndyCar season even starts, which brings me back to the Chevy Camaro, which I realize now after I got roasted on the forums that
you got roasted.
It's not all iRacing's fault. I was quick to pull my angry rant trigger, and was humbled a little bit. So they get the IndyCar out before the IndyCar season starts. We're now going on to week 3 of the NASCAR season, and iRacing still doesn't have a 3D model of the Camaro. I thought it was because iRacing didn't really want to work on the Camaro. Turns out that nobody really wants to work with iRacing on the Camaro and give them the information that they need. Now, that's not quite true, because I was thinking about this a little bit earlier. Is that I went to the North Carolina International Auto Show a couple weeks ago. They had Chase Elliott's car there. iRacing could have came up here. They could have scanned that car in the showroom. Just saying.
But do you bring your actual car to the showroom?
It was the they had the it was a Camaro. I wouldn't think you would change anything about the body.
I'm just thinking about F1 for some reason.
Yeah, no. I would assume that the car that I saw they would use at some point. They had a Hendrick guy standing there like a security guard, making sure nobody touched it too much. But
don't make any illegal body modifications.
Yeah. So I would assume that if iRacing did come up to that show and they were able to scan it, it was right in front of the door. You couldn't have scanned it. But I'm just saying, for argument's sake, if they wanted to see the car, they could have came and saw the car. But yeah, I thought it was, the reason the Camaro's taking so long is because iRacing wants to work on this stuff and not please their thousands of Chevy drivers. But turns out just Dallara is really open about their information and gave it to iRacing with it sounds like no questions asked. Whereas with Chevy, no team wants to release their CAD information. No team wants to release anything about this Camaro.
Do you think that's because the difference between those series is IndyCar? What was it? Spec series?
Spec series.
Yeah, with IndyCar you have the Dallara body. Really, the teams, the only choice they get is whether they want a Chevy or a Honda engine.
Okay, so it's the same as NASCAR.
Yeah, but NASCAR necessarily the bodies are different though. You got to think.
Yeah, the bodies are different. Yeah.
So maybe that's why.
So that's why.
Yeah, but I still why aren't these teams working with iRacing? Who knows? Probably because they're struggling themselves. It's pretty apparent that Chevy's struggling, and probably they don't have time for somebody to come and look at the car.
Hey man, come scan. Can you scan your car?
Well, when you think about it, do you think the Chevy teams are really worried about iRacing right now?
Hell no.
Well,
they all probably have their own simulators anyway.
Yeah.
But they don't run iRacing on them though. They run a modded version of our factory.
Exactly, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't run iRacing.
Yeah. I think they just come on iRacing to have fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they have their own simulators. But
I'm sure if Tony Stewart was still with Chevy, he was on today. He was on iRacing today. I saw his name pop up.
Yeah.
I'm sure if Tony Stewart was still with Chevy, iRacing would hit him up and be like, "Hey, can we come visit you?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, sure." But
right.
No.
Come on, Mr. Hendrick, let's get it done.
Yeah, but I mean, probably it is because these Chevy teams are just
detailed letter.
These Chevy teams are just way too swamped.
Now, so this is on the topic of iRacing not updating content. So we have Pocono, of course, back in 2014. But when you think about it, there have been other tracks that have been repaved. You got Watkins Glen in 2016. How long do we have to wait for
people
Watkins?
Are asking questions about that too.
Is it just going to be 4 years?
Yeah. Well, and a lot of what I've seen on the forum is a lot of the guys that run road and open wheel is their argument to us NASCAR drivers complaining about the Camaro and people complaining about tracks is they're like, do you know how long we had to wait for the DW12? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, look, iRacing is a lot bigger now. Like, their development team is bigger than it was. I would well, I don't want to assume, but I would highly think, I would hope that their development team is a lot bigger now than it was. Well, maybe not a lot bigger, but they put out Rallycross from ground up, and that doesn't take, that would take more than 10 people. I would assume they have more people than they had 5 years ago.
Definitely.
Have we gotten the new Michigan though?
No.
No.
Kentucky.
No New Michigan.
That was 2000.
No New Texas. Texas is going to take a long time.
Kansas was 2012 also.
They're going to have to do Phoenix again?
Kentucky.
Glen, 2015.
Yeah, they got to do
Kentucky,
Phoenix again.
2016.
And see, this is the problem that I knew they would start running into. I got into iRacing roughly 18 months ago-ish, and about 6 months in, I saw it's like, they're not really working on these tracks. They're going to get behind, and they're starting to get behind.
Yep, it's going to pile up more repays are coming. But sooner or later, these repays, like I said, get such high quality that they'll be able to catch
it. Doesn't matter how long it takes. They're still going to be the same.
Yeah, but it doesn't take long for a new bump to form.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but they're not going to be able to go rescan for a new bump.
If it's an important bump.
That's the best bump on the track, man. Come on.
This bump wrecks 20 cars every weekend.
How can this not be seen on the scene?
Sounds like the bump draft instead of a bump.
Oh, it's Jamie Murray and Hendrick cars.
Did you talk about the cushion, Brian?
No, I was actually going to go to that next. Yeah, so iRacing released a new... did they release a video? I've only seen pictures.
No, it's only a picture.
Yes. So there's a picture of this new cushion system that they're going to have for dirt tracks. I guess you could have it at asphalt.
Is the
rubber cushion.
Is the Snowball Derby coming in this build? Is that next build?
Snowball Derby. You mean Chili Bowl?
The Chili Bowl. That's what I meant. My bad.
Yeah, Chili. Actually, wait.
Could be Chili.
It's not listed here.
Yes, no. I don't think it's coming in this build.
Because originally they said it would be, but it's not
probably
here.
Next one with the Camaro and stuff. That's what I imagine.
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing though. Which iRacing always does that. Is that they
say 1 month or one builder at a time.
They say okay, the Chili Bowl. It looks really strongly likely that we're gonna have it in the March build. And then they say, oh, no, we're not going to have it in the March build. But, hey, we have a new Indy car and the dirt track at Charlotte for you. And it's like, look.
It's distraction.
Either do what you say you're going to do and don't do what you're not going to say you do. Like, you get it. Like, they've worked it and they're going to release these two things that nobody knew about. And everybody that and everything that everybody has questions about is just kind of off in the Wizard of Oz or something, I don't know.
Yeah, see, they, in their February 6th post on the forums, they said that they added the Chili Bowl and Lima Land Motorsports Park to the Dirt Oval.
Yeah, unless somebody got Chili Bowl and Dirt Track at Charlotte confused. Unless somebody has some severe dementia over there.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have made that joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but so they're doing the cushion, right? You see it, like.
Yeah, they're doing the cushion.
So explain what a cushion is, Brian, to the people at home.
So the cushion, you know, you run around the dirt a lot, and the dirt that you run on gets flung up to the top, and then
it builds up a mountain.
Makes a cushion. You get up on it. You know, that's. I mean, Kyle Larson made his living off of riding on the cushion. So
he's a cushion rider.
A little cushion for the pushing.
A little cushion for the pushing. That's right.
Cushion for the pushing.
And is that is anything else in our racing? I can't even.
I hope not, because I'm kind of.
The LMP1 cars are big. That's big stuff for us, like you said.
Yeah. Really,
cool.
I'm actually really looking.
I'm down the run endurance series.
Yeah, so, I'm looking forward to see how the Porsche and the Audi compare to each other in iRacing, since in real life, you know, the Porsche definitely has the edge.
Yeah.
A really strong, sharp edge.
You guys ever gonna get back into rallycross?
Hell no.
Why not?
I can't drive those things.
Okay.
You can.
What if we put up like a session at Sonoma, not their little rallycross track, but like the actual track. And just turn up track usage 100%.
Sure.
Hot temperatures.
Well, you couldn't drift with 100%.
Or 0. I don't. I'll turn the wind up.
Yeah, we'll turn the wind up. We'll make the temperature be like what's the highest temperature you can get? Like 115 or 105 or something. So track temp would be like 140.
No, you can't get 90. You can't get 90.
Oh, 90?
Yeah. No, he's talking about track temp. Like, what's the highest?
Yeah, track temp. The highest track temp you can get is like 110, I think.
What?
That's still hot.
Yeah.
No, I've
like
seen
112, 112.
I've seen 118 though. I'm pretty sure.
It's like 112, 111. So.
Oh no.
You can only get 92, 90. It's only 92 or 90.
I can check real quick here. Let's see what we got.
Check.
Got okay, 90 on the track temp, 100% fog, 30 mile per hour winds.
30 mile per hour. That's great.
Make sure it's afternoon. It's clear.
I don't know what that would produce track temp wise.
Afternoon and clear.
No, as far as like having a 90 degree of weather and it being clear and
windy.
Well, no, it's just those were the maxes. But I don't. Yeah, cushion. You can see in the picture right here, like the banking. It actually kind of sort of increases the banking up at the top, makes it kind of
after 2,000 laps.
Yeah, after 2,000 laps, you got one hell of a cushion there.
One hell of a cushion.
Too bad that the wing sprint cars can only go 40 laps.
On fuel.
On fuel.
And you can't put fuel on them.
And you can't refuel. Don't turn them off. Don't turn your ignition off. You'll never get it back on.
It needs to push
start. You gotta pump the gas a little bit.
Pump that. Make that car sure the carburetor is full of fuel.
Yeah, open the hood and just throw it on there.
But
we did that today on a Honda. It was a Honda hybrid. We couldn't get it started, so we got some map sensor cleaner.
Did you
fucking sprayed that in there? It ran for a little bit.
Did you just throw some AA batteries on there and it just started right up?
Yeah.
It's like the Energizer Bunny never stops.
Yeah, the Energizer Bunny.
Well,
think about all the things that recharge it. Yeah.
It's gonna be a podcast tonight.
Recharge your batteries, damn it.
You guys got anything you want to add?
I think that covers this week in motorsports.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. My blood pressure is now back down to a normal level.
Nick, in our first Racing Freaks race, also guys, check out Racing Freaks League Racing.
Yeah, if you don't have a league you're racing in, if you want to race Saturday the cars, lay cars.
We had Nick bring home the first Halford and Sons victory on Friday night. And myself, Zach, bring home the victory on Saturday night. So we've gone back to back and swept the weekend with Halford and Sons, our first weekend.
Congratulations, you guys!
Thanks, Brian.
I'm really proud of you.
We need your help.
I'm not jealous at all.
Well, guess what? We go to Atlanta this week, so.
I know, yeah. I'm feeling really good about that
week, so.
You guys need to teach me how to run that track.
If anybody wants to, if anybody wants me to stream the race from Racing Freaks on this channel, just let us know, and I'll stream on here instead of my personal channel when we all race together. So get the Halford and Son, keep it all together. But
and then people are gonna hear us talking trash. I don't know.
Another thing I actually thought about, and I wanted to save it for the stream. So if anybody wanted to put down in the comments what they think about it, I thought about doing, keeping up with the NIS schedule and doing like a lap around whatever track they're at that week. We can kind of discuss about what each of us would do in that corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. If anybody be interested in that, just let us know.
Yeah, I'm down for that. So that's a good idea.
You gotta turn right to go left.
Anybody likes that idea, let us know in the next podcast. We'll hit that up. Right. Is that turn 4? What turn 4?
Turn 5.
Pocono.
That's not Pocono. We're going to Atlanta.
You poked a who?
I know. Shush,
I know.
Brian. Well, from myself, good night, everybody. It's been a beautiful podcast.
Bye.
And,
bye, y'all.
Everybody,
don't get too drunk.
Have a great night. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.